Okay, listen up. Today's challenge, this classic black dress, which I've had for close to 10 years. We're going to completely reinvent it with 5 festive looks using what I already have. So we're not shopping, we're not buying new, we're not buying into that whole consumption, we need something new to fit in, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, I better get something new so I look fabulous. There is so much you can do with what you already have or what you can find secondhand in a thrift store. If you're new here, my name is Faye and this channel is all about what I like to call opshopulence. So we're thrifting, we're recycling, we're reinventing, we're stopping before we shop and choosing creativity over consumption. Let's do it. 5 festive looks using this simple dress and what I already have. When I set myself this challenge, I wanted to dive into my favorite color palette, which is definitely festive, but it's something that I gravitate to all year round. And I think that's because I use classic pieces like this dress, and my way to get the color and get the wow factor is with metallics. So I love gold, I love silver. I'm not sort of a traditional, it's Christmas, let's wear red, let's wear green. I like to do it in a different way, and also to create things that transcend past the season. So I don't want it to be too gimmicky and I don't want it to be too dated. So that was kind of my approach when I was doing this, and I thought, okay, what have I got in my wardrobe that's really beautiful, like silvers, golds, where are some pops of green? I thought about doing red, but then I just went on this whole gold and silver trip because of some of the things that I've made for my store as well. I really wanted to style them up and show you how I would reinvent them. Okay, for this first look, I wanted to play around with one of my favorite corset pieces, this beautiful silver sequined corset, which I found for $4 in a thrift store. And what I like to do with my corsets is wear them in unexpected ways. So not just the classic, you know, across the bust, done up at the back. I like to flip it on its head and wear it asymmetrically off to one side. I'll put the lace up in the front, or I'll put it to the side like I've done in this video. So it just, for me, gives it that high fashion feel. It makes me think of designers like Hayder Ackerman, McQueen. It definitely has this sort of more interesting take on it, so it becomes this waist piece as opposed to a corset. I mean, of course, I can wear it normally as well, but me being me, I like to do things differently, and I want to encourage you to do that as well, to play with your clothes and think about how you could wear them in a really unexpected way. And so on top of the corset, I have added one of my brooch belts, and this is a beautiful one because I've actually had a bootmaker change the buckle. I found this beautiful vintage Western buckle. So I had him add that in, and then I've added vintage brooches. So that's available on my site, and it actually comes with an additional heart brooch. But for this, I just went with the 2 diamante pieces. And that's the great thing about the brooch belt, is that you can take it off, mix and match, switch it up. And so I really liked that contrast of that element of Western and then playing back into the bling with the belt. For the shoes, I found these shoes in New York, so they're very special to me. They do need a little adjusting on the straps, so I'm definitely going to go see my bootmaker again soon and see what he can do for me. And for the bag, another thrifted piece, added a little F charm. And I like this bag because it's got the silver element on it, but it's not too contrasty. It blends in with the silver and lets the silver really speak. So that's look 1. Look number 2, one of my favorite vintage finds. I went to a vintage fair a couple of years ago and I found this incredible silk kimono. It is giving me all the Versace vibes, but it's not. It didn't have any label in it at all, but it is just such a showstopper. For this look, I actually wanted to sort of do the unexpected and make it a little bit more pared down and casual. So with this dress, I pushed the sleeves up, and then I've allowed those amazing dramatic sleeves to really be the star of the show. And I've just added a really simple black strappy sandal. So something that you could wear to, like, you know, a pool party. You could wear your swimsuit underneath it, you could wear a slip dress underneath it, or you could add some really interesting belt detail or a statement necklace. I've also worn it belted, almost like a dress, over pants, with a heel, with a strappy sandal, with a statement bag. There are so many things that I can do with this piece, and it's one of those pieces that you really don't need to do anything else. I mean, it just steals the show. But I like that I can make it more casual, and I actually wore this for Christmas a couple of years ago when Lee and I went overseas, and I just wore it really casually, and it was great because I could eat and enjoy myself, but I still felt glamorous. I put a little flower behind my ear, and it was just such a lovely statement without having to make too much of an effort. I felt glamorous, I felt fabulous, I felt designer, and the kimono only cost me 50 bucks. So we love that. If you've got a kimono piece like this, or even a button through dress, you could undo it and wear it as a kimono like this. You could wear it as a duster. I always have a look in the lingerie section of thrift stores because I've quite often seen proper vintage Japanese kimonos, and I haven't quite found my size yet, but I'm hoping that I will soon. So definitely have a look in your local thrift store for pieces like that. You could even use pajamas or like a gown. If it's a nice print, you could do this same kind of idea. So just really open your mind to playing around with pieces in a different way. Okay, look number 3, and it was all about this incredible statement necklace. Again, this one is available on opshopulence.com, and what I love about this piece is that pop of green. So this is a brooch added to a silver, more choker piece, and then I've contrasted it with this amazing diamante piece, and it's just such a wow factor. And accessories are amazing for this very reason, because you can just have such a simple dress like this, you add that and it's like, wow, hello. And with each of these looks, I've been mindful to switch up my earrings as well. So picking earrings that really complement but don't take away from whatever the statement piece is that I'm really trying to put forward. And I also wanted to highlight one of my hand-painted jackets. I think the necklace really inspired me to add that piece. You could wear this for a work event or drinks with the girls. I've added quite a simple pointy toe shoe. I don't know if you remember a couple of videos back when I went to Melbourne and I found those pointy toe shoes, but the straps had disintegrated. So for now, I've just added some ribbon, which looks amazing, and I'm really loving these shoes. So that's such a nice story of rescuing something. I knew those shoes would be good, it just needed a different fastening. I think I'm still gonna get some velvet ribbon, but for now, I'm loving the lace up, almost like a shoelace kind of vibe. And with the bag, that's a vintage Guess piece, and I like this piece because it's got the chain that picks up the chain necklace. So it's a really classic look, but quirky, playing into my style mantra. I've talked about this before, and I talk about it in my book as well, Opshopulence. Picking 3 words that help you to define where you're feeling your style is at the moment. And of course, it changes all the time. It evolves, you evolve, so your 3 words will change. But it's been interesting for me that timeless, tailored quirk has definitely stuck for the last few years. And when I'm getting dressed, I play into those words and I think, okay, is it timeless? Yes. Is it tailored? Because I love a suit, I love corseting, I love belts, but where's the quirk? And for me, this definitely has the quirk with the neck piece and the quirky hand-painted blazer. Look number 4, and we are definitely calling on the one and only Carrie Bradshaw for this one. The thing that got me started was the chain belt So this is another piece that's available on my website. And this is a chain charm belt. So it's a beautiful chain piece, but then I've added some interesting charms which are detachable. So you could put them on a bag, or you could add even more charms to them. But I like how it sits with my other belt. And what I've done here is I've used the dress as a top. So I've put my black tutu over the top, and as soon as I did that, it took me to the land of Carrie. I thrifted this tutu for $5 and I have worn it so many times. You would think that something like this would be hard to wear, but it's actually become really timeless for me because there's so many different ways that you can do this, and it definitely leans into designer. I love it with a biker jacket and boots in winter, but it looks cute with a singlet and strappy sandals in summer. So there's lots of different ways that you can play around with a surprisingly bold piece to actually make it quite classic. And then to play into the Carrie thing even further, I have added that beautiful corsage which my husband found for me when we were thrifting. It was $1, and it's like I think it's a hair clip, but I've just clipped it onto my bra underneath this dress, and it just sat like a dream. And the bag was a gift from a friend. I absolutely love it. It's very much a take on an Hermes bag, but the thrifty version. I love the handwriting on it, and I've added a little sequin satchel inside to add some contrast and texture, and of course put my lippy in, and so there's nothing sort of hanging out and looking messy. With all of these looks too, I put my hair up in a bun because I just wanted to be free to play around with jewelry, and I think it's a classic look with minimal fuss. It looks elegant, and it's a great thing for the festive season. You can add some bling to it, which brings me to my next look. Our final look, look number 5, I wanted to showcase this beautiful brooch headband that I created, and as soon as I put it on with the bun, it gave me very Dolce & Gabbana vibes. So I thought, okay, what would Dolce do? I love how they really lean into women in menswear. They love a tie, they love a collared shirt. So what I did with this look was I turned this dress into a pencil skirt. So I added a white button down over the top, one of my favorite ones that I've had for years. I've actually cropped it, and I've worn it in so many other ways with skirts. I love that it's a bit frayed and kind of worn in. It gives it really interesting quirk, but it's still a timeless tailored piece. You can't see that with this look. I've tucked it into my favorite peplum belt, and I've added my classic Manolo Blahnik. Great story. When I lived in New York, I was living on 46th Street, and there's a fantastic Salvation Army right across the road, which is 3 stories, and I was doing quite a bit of work from that store, and it was my first designer piece when I found these shoes. I saw them in the cabinet, I asked the girl to show me the size, turned it over, it was my size. I tried them on, I slipped my foot in, it was like a Cinderella moment. I swear angels sang, and all the other girls around me were green with envy. They were like, no way, they fit you, that's not fair. And they were $25 US. They still had the original tag on the bottom, $840, and I got them for $25. And I still have them. So I think they're a really classic look with this, especially with that pencil look silhouette. And now the blazer. This is another one of my painted pieces. I've just painted the collar with beautiful gold paint. And I'm thinking I'm actually going to do a little bit more to this one. Maybe the pockets, or maybe the little pocket here. But stay tuned because it will pop up on opulence.com very soon. But I was so surprised with how smart this look came together. This is definitely a glamour business look, and definitely leaning into the festive season with that gold and the blingy headband. And then with the tie, I've added a D brooch, D for Delante, but also that little nod to Dolce & Gabbana. So I thought that was absolutely perfect. I love a tie, and I love it even more when it's got a brooch on it. And for the bag, I just went very simple. Little sort of classic little black box with the gold hardware. Easy breezy. But I love how the hair up plays into that headband, and all those little brooches and their clip-on earrings as well. They're all removable, so you can switch it up. Put them on your ears, put them on clothes, whatever you like. Whew, I need to lie down after all of that massive dress up session, but it was so fun. It was so therapeutic, really inspiring for myself to rethink what I already have, dive into elements of high fashion, play with the things that I've been making for my store, and really choose creativity over consumption. The festive season is definitely a time where there's such an agenda of buying new, you need this to fit in, and you really don't. I highly encourage you to stop before you shop, as I like to say, and dive into your wardrobe. Think about what you've got, how could you reinvent it, and for what's missing, visit a thrift store, and that includes for your decorations as well. You can find so many beautiful things for the tree, for the table, for parties. So I really hope that I've inspired you, and I hope I've given you some ideas for the festive season ahead, some wearable things, some quirky things, some interesting things, and some beautiful shiny things. And don't forget, some of the pieces that you've seen in today's video you can snap up from my store, shopbillance.com. Thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for watching this. I'd love to hear what else you would like me to do videos on, so please feel free to leave a comment, let me know. I'm so inspired by talking to you all. I love that you're from all different parts of the world. It's so unreal. So please feel free to make some suggestions and hit me up for things that you would like to see. I'm gonna go lie down now. I'm tired. Fashion is definitely my cardio. Bye.